So if it's not already confirmed, Andrea Kimi Antonelli will be a Mercedes driver for 2025. And I am so happy to hear this since I genuinely think we have not seen a talent like Antonelli enter the sport since maybe Russell, Leclerc, or Verstappen, which means yes, I think he is better than Oscar and at least on par with Lando. But why do I hold this sentiment? How am I so confident that he is better than the people I listed and at least on par with the others? Well, let me explain to you just who Kimi Antonelli is and why he is different to previous rookies. Of course, there is the main concern with him, that being that he is being rushed into the sport and that he should do at least one more year in F2, and I see where these people are coming from, since with Zhou and Sargent, they were rushed into the sport, and we see with Zhou how much he would have benefited from another season, and we can't even see anything with Logan anymore, since James Vowles has successfully ordered a hit to take out Logan. So, I get why these people say Kimi is being rushed in. However, I am making this video today to prove to you all that he will not apply to this and why he is worthy of being in F1 already compared to other rookies. So, enough yapping and let us discuss why Andrea Kimi Antonelli will succeed in F1. Before we go further in the video though, I want to give a quick shout out to the members of the flock, and if you haven't joined already, I would greatly appreciate it as the fight against the F1 Devils continue. Anyways, Kimi Antonelli, like any other F1 driver, started with karts from a young age, and also like any other F1 driver, showed immediate promise, since almost instantly this guy was winning left, right, and center. So, in 2019, Toto, seeing the talents of Antonelli, and still being butthurt about losing Max, signed Kimi to their junior program when he was just 12 years of age. After winning some more in 2021, he made the jump to race cars in the middle of the Formula 4 Italian series, and keep in mind, at this point, he was just 14 years old, and on his debut, he would score points and finished in 9th, but in the final 3 races, he would finish 2nd, 3rd, and 3rd again, and this will lock him in for next year to compete. So, how did he do? Oh, well, he dominantly won the championship, and during this period as well, he also competed in the ADAC Formula 4 season as well. So, how did he do there? Oh, he also dominantly won the series as well. And in 2023, he also competed in Freca, and guess what? He also won that championship too, upon a plethora of other championship wins in other series as well. Well, you might say, other drivers have won dominantly too, but couldn't show that same brilliance in F1. What makes you think Antonelli will be different? Well, I will tell you why. Sure, other drivers have also dominantly won championships, but while they may have influenced their chances, Kimi Antonelli is respectively built different, since it is not what he is winning, it is how he is winning. And I'll tell you how. In brilliant fashion. The way he overtakes and utilizes different lines in his racecraft makes him a force to be reckoned with, since right when you think you got him by covering the inside, he could very easily go around the outside of you and make it stick. That right there is something that few drivers can do, since most drivers only rely on straights or mistakes or flat pure pace to get ahead, while Antonelli can try so many different lines to overtake you and somehow find a way to make all of them stick and ultimately win. So, these brilliant performances, as well as the convenience of the new F2 regulations, saw Antonelli skip over F3 and immediately jump to F2, so let us see how he's doing there. This year's F2 season looked like to be a banger, since with the once-in-a-lifetime Prema lineup of Behrman and Antonelli, along with a slew of other talented drivers such as Martins, Colapinto, Bortoleto, Hadjar, we all thought this year's F2 season would be a classic. Then High-Tech just have the best car alright and Prema are shit. Well still, Antonelli wouldn't let that stop him, since he currently has 2 wins, with one being a sprint race win and the other a feature race win. And both race wins weren't simple easy wins where he won due to a dominant car. No, sure, he had a good car, but that isn't the sole reason why he won. He won due to, yet again, brilliant driving. For context, the sprint race in Silverstone was interesting to say the least. However, Antonelli was leading the entire race, and not barely too, by 8+ seconds in a race where drivers were spinning and going wide a lot in the rain. And then in the Hungary feature race, I want you to take a look how he just overtakes everyone with such ease. Sure, he has a tire advantage, but you need to be skilled in cutting through traffic to pull off overtakes like these and have immense precision to take perfect lines each lap while everybody else takes messy lines. Plus, another example of his brilliant overtaking ability was shown to us in Spa, where he overtook current Formula 1 driver Franco Colapinto going into Eau Rouge while it is absolutely pissing down with rain with such ease. So clearly, one of his best traits in him is his ability to be ultra fast and ultra consistent with the throttle inputs and steering, which makes him a fantastic overtaker. However, there is always a catch. If Kimi Antonelli has one major flaw in his craft, it is that he sometimes gets ahead of himself due to his abilities, which can cause some mistakes like block-ups or what happened in the sprint in Australia, where he was battling hard for the lead. However, he made a mistake while trying to hold position, which sent him round and into the gravel trap of death. However, the weakness is only there due to the very nature of his strengths, and think of drivers like Max or Charles, where they are ultra fast, and guess what? They are also prone to a few crashes here and there due to their ability to be extremely fast and in turn, extremely careless sometimes. Anyways, remember how he's a Mercedes junior driver? Well, of course, Toto being butthurt about fumbling the baddie that is Max, he wasted no time to put Kimi in an F1 car, so he has been running tests left and right. So how is he doing in a real Mercedes Formula 1 car? So Kimi got his first taste of an F1 car earlier this year, but that was primarily a getting up to standard test. So his first real test would come in May, where he was put up against Russell and Mick, and there were a variety of tests done. However, when the test was complete and James Allison was asked about Kimi's performance, he responded by saying he was the real deal. And there were even reports that Kimi was performing better than Russell and Mick in the test. However, take it with a grain of salt, since there could be a multitude of other reasons why that happened, other than he is simply better than them. Couple that with how Toto creams his pants anytime his name is mentioned in interviews, and it seems that with Toto's praise and his impressive showing from what we know in the private test, then I don't think there is a just reason to sound the alarms in terms of him getting into the sport next year. At the end of the day, the teams ultimately know more than we do, so if a high-profile Mercedes employee like James Allison or Toto Wolff are saying that he has a natural feel for the car and would get up to speed as a Formula 1 driver, then I think we should take their word for it. So let us say that in FP1 in Monza, he performs similar to Lewis and has a great showing, which leads to his announcement as a full-time Mercedes driver for 2025. How would he compare to other rookies that have entered the sport, and would he be a rushed failure like Logan, or would he be a talent that shouldn't waste times in lower formulas like Max? Well, in my honest opinion, I think he will hold up well in comparison to rookies like Max, like Charles. Hell, I'd even say like Lewis in terms of not failing, not in terms of championship contender. But hey, if that Merc is really good, who knows? Anyways, this may sound biased, and to a degree it is, since like I said, I have kept up with Kimi since his first Cars races in 2021, and almost immediately he was impressive, and it was hard to not sound like a lunatic when talking about him. And the reason why we sound like this is because of his racing brilliance. I already stated that his ability to find a natural feel for the car and almost become one with it is a talent that not that many other rookies have, since other rookies, let's take Lando Norris for example, he relies on the car being set up well and being good, and then adding their amazing talent to make the driver and car lineup lethal. And while all drivers need this to become a great driver, and it's certainly not a bad thing, there are a certain few who are just lethal by themselves and can make any car or any line work in their favor, and I wholeheartedly believe that Antonelli is a part of this bunch due to his fantastic overtaking ability, his pure raw pace, and his ability to become one with the car. So, I think if you still doubt Kimi and think he would fail because he was rushed in similar to Logan, I simply think you haven't seen enough of Kimi, and once you do, you'll see that comparing him to Logan is simply illogical to do, since they are not the same whatsoever. Can't wait for this video to age really poorly. So, here is my opinion about why I think Kimi Antonelli will succeed in Formula 1. And of course, it should be stated that these are just my opinions, and you may still disagree with what I said, and that is totally fine and cool. However, I do think Antonelli will impress a whole load of people and will prove any doubters wrong. So, To reiterate, I think his ability to become one with the car, which allows him to try and make many different lines stick, as well as give him an extremely clean but fast overtaking ability, is why he won't suffer in F1, and why he will be at the very least a future Formula 1 great. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, since that would greatly help me and allow me to create better content, and let me know in the comments what you think of Antonelli, and as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.